Welcome to today's collective reading. We'll open with a bit of resonance to the vibration of the third eye and kyanite and selenite to align the energies and elevate their vibration so that only the messages of the highest and greatest good may come through for the collective tuning in. So what is the theme for today's message? What does the collective need to know? What guidance is coming through? Oh, okay, so we have the Wonder Hunter, number 42, which breaks to a 6. This tells me this could be foundational, it's co-created, and love of self, love of others, seeing love in the world around you, the light within others, becoming part of that foundation. The co-creation could be present within you, within yourself, between what you're receptive to and what you're willing to give to or assertively acting towards. To begin there. It can definitely be mirrored to you, back to you, from outside of you. We'll see what comes through here more. To the specifics for the collective. A sense that you have ascended above, like your reindeer can fly. Your deer can now fly. You are filled with new beginnings with these butterflies coming out of her cloak. Almost like these are troubles that you've left behind you. They're beneath you. They want to affect you. They're present, but it's like they're barriers that you have risen above them even being something you're focused on, because she is very focused on the individual. If this were to be a picture, the individual taking the snapshot. She's not focused on what's below her. She's focused elsewhere. So what do we have coming through from the higher self here? I have the deck upside down in my hand. My apologies. But there is a reason for that. So the Four of Pentacles. Ooh, what are you being protective of? You have all this abundance within you, so what are you not embracing about this abundance? Why are you resisting it? Let's get a little further in here for this exactly, for the collective. A little more specifics on this, please. Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles that came out originally in the inverted for a reason. So it's about this abundance within you that you're just not seeing, you're not acknowledging, you don't feel that it's there, you're unaware of its presence. And then this Four of Cups is yet again a card of, oh, well, you know, I've gone through these loves and they're empty and they're shallow and they're blah and they're there. You're aware that there's a real one here, that you're able to see the love in situations, dynamics and people, the magic. You're able to see the magic in it. And that it's getting close to harvest time. But you're still not embracing what's being offered. And it's possible that you're not fully aware of the abundance of this ability to see this love. You're not aware of its truth. Definitely some past hurts here. Just one more here at least. Okay, yeah. It's almost as though you feel you don't have enough awareness, enough knowledge, enough insight, enough It's like you've been, I don't know, like, right, it's like you've been drugged in a way. Like you're in an artificial sleep sitting up here. That's why you're not aware of this. You've been made to be unaware of it. So if you're not aware of this, how can you possibly take a leap if it's like, there is taking a leap of faith, and then there is a reckless level of, hey, you know, if I jump off the Eiffel Tower, will you jump off with me? Or if I tell you that you'll fly, will you jump? And that's just not, yeah, that's not grounded. That's not grounded. I don't know of anybody that can fly that's not, you know, an artificial being or a story or a superhero of some kind. You know, it's fiction. So there's this resistance to what you see that is reckless, because you've gone into this deep state of hibernation, or it's been somehow artificially imposed upon you. Okay. So what do we need to know about this from like the higher self with like, what are you acting towards? Guidance on where to assertively move with this. How to shift this. Now this one I do read in the inverted. I am getting more familiar with this deck, but it is still, you know, somewhat of a newer thing for me. Okay, that one really wanted to come out. So we have Judgment in the inverted here. Now, because of how it came out, originally it was upright, so I'll take it as either or and read it both ways for you guys. I am going to get the keywords for you. I mean, you may have called judgment on this situation. You may be very aware that you're still being oppressed in some way, shape, or form, even though others see that this is where you should be. They're not seeing what you're experiencing from your perspective. So they are unaware of how you still are experiencing some kind of manipulation here. Okay, so we'll start with the inverted. So prejudging, stereotyping, lazy thinking, and abuse of power. In the upright, deciding for others, being judged, consequences, and closure. I mean, that's pretty blunt and to the point. The symbolism for this is a hand reaching up, reaches up from the ground into another world, seeking to be welcomed. If the judgment is not in its favor, it will be destroyed. So this could be either way, that it originally like was in the deck upright, however it came out inverted. This is possibly something that is coming down to assess what is going on. However, I'm going to point out that this is not, you know, a light hand, a light coming down surrounded by darkness. This is something, this may be another illusion or manipulation that's in place. Because it wants you to think that it's a higher level being that's judging, that's intervening. But is it? So how do you discern this when you still feel like you can't really own this because there's still some kind of illusion or deception present? You don't want to embrace this abundance that is yours if there's some kind of manipulation or trickery in place, because you know it's there to discard you and take all of this abundance that you're sitting upon. It's not there for you. It doesn't care about you. It sees you as the obstacle. Okay. So what do we need to know about this deeper here for the collective tuning in? Okay. Okay, so So we have the Hangman inverted. And the Seven of Wands. So what is being perceived as a higher self, a higher version, an elevated being that has been observing, watching, judging, planning, because there's been this long drawn out hesitation here, they're not being perceived in a positive way because they have not been actually observably defending, protecting, guarding. Because the Seven of Wands is about being defensive of oneself, regardless of the odds, still defending oneself. And you can tell from that wand that this individual is holding, they've been through some battles. They've had to make some repairs. But this is in the inverted. So this can definitely be the exact opposite. This can be someone who wants you to believe that they're a higher power, that they are an elevated higher self. This could be your own higher self that is wanting you to believe that judgment is coming in, but in reality, is it? Is it? Okay. I want to go deeper into this. Definitely want to go deeper into this. Okay, a lot came out there. So we had the Ten of Swords. Ooh, the Ten of Swords came out inverted. The Celestial Time Weaver is kind of saying that you can time travel. You could be working with 5, 6, 7, umpteen bajillion timelines at once. Kind of like a quantum kind of thing. So then we have the Seven of Swords inverted and the Ace of Pentacles inverted. So this is not the end. This is not dead. This is new beginning because you have this power to do this. And then there's not stories. You're not open to stories and false promises. Receptive-wise, you're not receptive to this being the end. You're only receptive to it being a new beginning, and you're not listening to tall tales and false promises anymore. Okay. So what do we have over here then in response to the assertive aspect within the higher self? Coming down for the collective around this very dynamic of there's still illusion present here. What the hell? There's still manipulation here. What the hell? How can I own this if this is still being allowed to happen? It's like I hear like this frustration of, well, you know, I keep hearing that I'm protected. I keep hearing that good things are happening. I keep getting these synchronicities, but I'm also getting all this illusion stuff at the same time. So, I mean, I'd like to think only good things are possible and that they're the only things that are real, but if I'm so protected, why is this, you know, this lower vibrational energy in my assertive aspect? Why is what's being perceived as judgment not actually coming in as judgment? What is going on over here? Okay, so we have the Eight of Spheres inverted, Page of Wands inverted, okay, the King of Cups inverted. Yeah, that one did a flipperoo. So we have the Queen of Wands coming out on the side. Okay. This Eight of Spheres, you are putting out so much energy and you're juggling so much and the world's upside down. You put everything that you can in play. You look at all of those spheres. There's not a single sphere in hand. Not a single one. They're all up in the air. I mean, yeah, they seem to be doing a pretty gnarly trick of coming back up. Like things are not necessarily as they seem. But you're in a state where you have 0 pentacles actually in possession. They are all in the air. So, of course, you're going to feel like there's some kind of deceptive, manipulative something going on because you've given and given and given and given and given and given. Are you getting anything back? Has it actually come in yet? Have you experienced anything that is actually physically present as a validation that, yeah, you put your faith in the divine and the divine has reciprocated that faith? You have loved the divine, and the divine is yet to really allow that abundance to become something that you feel you can embrace. So why don't you feel safe? Why is there an illusion present? We have the Page of Wands in the inverted. You have a form here that is not a knight, it's not a king, it's not a queen. This is the beginning of the royal aspect of this suit. This is like the young prince. And you notice right where the heart should be, there is a hole of light. Now, this can be interpreted in 2 ways, and it may resonate in both for you guys because you may be interacting with both sides of this individual. One where it literally does not have a heart. This form does not have a heart. They have removed it. They have turned it off. It is not on. Thus, they had to take it out of this form. Their heart is not manifesting. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that is the splash of light in this form, as though this would be the side of the yin-yang symbol that is predominantly dark, and this is that splash of light. It is there, it is on fire, and they are very aware of it. However, they're inverted. So, in other decks, this would come to me in a sense of like, oh, you know, playful, happy, fun, wanting to just kind of be superficial to like smooth over the depth of the awkwardness of the seriousness of this placement. But it's inverted. So you in your assertive aspect, you have manifested. And because nothing has actually come back to you where you know without a shadow of a doubt that this is legitimate, you're not accepting any false promises here. These are promises. All of these are promises, and none of them have actually come in because you're going to perceive them as false. So they're not going to come in fully. You're not going to possess them until they are free of deception, free of storytelling, free of lies, and free of, if they're ungenuine, if they're ingenuine. I want to say disingenuine, but that's like double negative. If they're in that state, you're not gonna receive them. So the fact that nothing has actually come into your possession yet is simply because it is still false. It is still deceptive. It's empty promises. It's still empty promises. Okay, and then we have the King of Cups in the inverted. Yeah, their heart is not in it. Your heart in the assertive aspect, like you're not leading with your heart in this dynamic at all, present within you, and then it radiates out from you in how you experience the world. I mean, yes, here it could be either way, but this definitely, this part of you, your assertive aspect is not leading with heart. You've taken your heart out of it. You are leading with logic. And the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is typically a very passionate, feminine, receptive form, like manifesting through receptivity, but it's like you become so desirable that you just attract things. This is not inverted or upright. And I'm getting that's because whatever this is that's going on here, you're now not sure if it's capable of being anything but deceptive and false. You're now going, wait, this is not what I set out for, but this is what I have encountered. And encountered over, like these could be past experiences that you've just been like, nope, nope, nope. You've been juggling them right back. Like there's still deception. There's still lies. There's still bullshit. This is not fitting what I'm manifesting. What I'm manifesting is not an ending, but a new beginning. What I'm manifesting is this state. I want this state. But as long as there's deception and storytelling and false promises, I can't embrace it. So you're starting to go, you know what? If you can't get it right, man, why should I be at your table? Why should I expect you to come through with what I'm actually manifesting if all you're capable of giving me is false? Thus, why you feel as though there's still some kind of a manipulation at play, because this is what you want. But you're just continually getting what you don't want. Like, what the hell? All right. Divine, what do we need to do here to like clear this up a bit for the collective? Is there a resolution for this? Is there something they can do? Because I'm just feeling like there's a lot of frustration here. Okay, King of Pentacles. And fell. Landed on its side. So you have a King of Pentacles here. You have Judgment on its side. Ooh. Okay, we have the Three of Cups, and that one wanted to come out too in the Star. Okay, so what does the Ten of Pentacles look like to you? I mean, there's something to be said for when you're manifesting to be detailed, but not to be too detailed. You need to allow the universe, the divine and Gaia, like the connection between as above, so below, to reflect one another. To have some way of coming in with that extra, bit of, this is obviously the divine saying, hey, you've had faith and you followed me and you've trusted me. So let me let you know that I have faith in you and I love you in kind. So how do you view that Ten of Pentacles? What does it look like to you? Maybe it has more swords in it. Maybe it has more knowledge. Maybe it has more passion than just physical money. Maybe it has more love to it. How do you visualize that? Because this is telling me that you need to be receptive to being a contradiction, to being capable of acting in a receptive way to receiving abundance, whether you're young or old, because this individual, their hair says that they're old, but everything about their physicality, their skin, maybe they look pretty youthful. And this companion here, it's okay to have help, to receive assistance, to ask for it and know that you will receive it. And this Judgment, we've had Judgment come out twice here. What are you actually communicating with divine? What What are you internally experiencing inside of yourself about how you view yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you relate to that part of you that is connected to the divine, to that mystery of divinity? How, like, what are you wanting to keep back? What are you not wanting to receive, to let go of, to communicate? Honesty is being called for here in communication. If that's like, you need to like stomp your feet, yell, cry, scream, go to the gym, punch a punching bag a couple times as you just take it out, like just work it out, like however you tap into that very like emotionally charged way of communicating with this part of yourself, like this is a call to do so. This is needed for you, if nothing more than emotionally, to be brutally honest with the divinity within you, with that divine spark and awareness within you. I'm getting that when you do this, to express that it's to that divinity within you, within yourself, that higher self, to the higher self, to the higher self, all the way up to like the entire lotus flower, to that oversoul, to that divinity. For like the lack of perfect words in English to describe it, I'm trying my best here to explain it. But it's not to include others that are not you. It's not to include outside energies. It's not to include others. It's just you and the divine within you. Like a private conversation, almost. That it's to be implied. It's to be part of it. There's an intimacy within it. The Three of Cups, like this, if you notice that there's a triskel, which is what that's called on her back. The connection to the stars, to the divine, yet again, like you need to include the divine a bit more with some more details about how you view your 10 of Pentacles. Because the divine is listening, and even though the divine hears your heart, there's some very grounded details that you're not filling in. I sense a bit of a hesitation here. There's a bit of a hesitation here within you, which is fair, because you're a being of love, you're a being of light. You're not in for like wanting to impose your will upon other beings. You're like, hey, this is what I know to be true. Other than that, help me to be open to receiving what is coming in, because I know that I'm going to be surprised. I know that the sun is coming in. Like I'm seeing the sun card from this deck. The sun card represents like your ultimate happiness, but there's so much within this happiness that utterly surprises you. And that may be part of why there's this hesitancy. Like it's two-sided. It's, yes, there's the hesitancy because it's like you don't know what's coming in. Maybe surprises haven't always been a good experience. Maybe there's a bit of fear because you don't know. And I mean, obviously you have not had the greatest experiences with the deceptions and the false promises that have been coming in, and you've had to be like, nope, 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 nope. So maybe you're just tired of being surprised, and now you're not surprised when it's not so great. So maybe now you're just straight up not receptive to being surprised. That's why we're here. The divine wants some more details, but like there's certain things you just shouldn't have to say. Like, hey, you know, like I want to be able to pay my rent every month, or pay my electric bill, or I don't want to be in an environment where I don't feel safe, or I need to worry about whether or not my things are going to be stolen, or like just some basic things that you shouldn't have to say when manifesting a 10 of Pentacles. Like, I don't want there to be deceptive energy that leaves me in a state where I feel like I've been taken advantage of and put into an alternate state of
alternate mindset where I wonder if I've been drugged or manipulated, that my perception is so sluggish that who is doing this to me if I'm so protected? I don't want to question these things. And I don't blame you. So why are you there? These are things you shouldn't have to say to the divine. If the divine is tapped into your heart, the divine should know this, right? Huh. There's like a lot of frustration here. Like everything that I say can be a synchronization for some individuals, but it's not necessarily for everyone. So do take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Definitely. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, that was 2 and they inverted flipped on me, which is interesting. If you saw how they like spiraled on my forearm there, it's like because of these many disappointments, you're like, every time that something seems like it's going to work, it's going to be fine, it's going to be good, it ends up not being good. So you're basically like, so what? I need to expect it to be horrible in order for it to be good? I need to not be open to it in order for it to show up? Wow, that's heavy. Okay. It's good. Oh, sorry. I left her off screen there. My bad. So yeah, that was the Queen of Wands there. Oh. You know, we're going to do a shuffle here. So in closing, I guess, you know, like, let's just kind of wrap this up with like, what is needed, what is desired, what is wanted for you to act towards here. I mean, obviously to have a conversation, like, straight up, like, however intense you need to be. Just get that out of your body, get that out of your being. Stop holding on to this frustration with all of these false things that have come in and still feeling like you're here, like you're being messed with still, yet you're expected to be in this state. It's like there's a side to this that seems to think that you have everything you need, and yet they're oblivious to the manipulation energies around you that are messing with you to keep you in this state of dormant. Woo. Okay. Oh boy. Because of how that fell out, I'll allow that to be upright or inverted. So we have a Knight of Wands. So we have a Page and a Knight. Okay. A little more here. Okay, the Fool. And it was interesting how that came out. So I'll leave that on its side. The Fool could straight up like go upright, but this feels like it's kind of undecided. It's kind of undecided. Which makes sense. Didn't we have the Fool over here? We did. It was inverted. Yeah, we did. It was kind of, you don't have what you need to be able to go upright in the receptive. So in the assertive, you're also, it's not inverted, but it could be upright or inverted. So this is major arcana. This is telling me this is starting to be something that's going to be forced. That the hand is going to be forced. That this concept over here of, well, is this side better than that side? Or is that side better than this side? Or there's so much thought, and it's like they're rushing in a direction. Your assertive energy wants to rush towards this. To this enjoying everything and being above all of this deceptive stuff. But there is stuff holding you down. It's like you're in a hot air balloon and somebody got the weights wrong and they filled the bags with clay that's twice as heavy as what it's marked for. So the math isn't working out. That kind of a thing. So you can't get off the ground and you don't understand why. You should be able to get off the ground. So there's this rushing to do that, but it's like, where are you going and why? Why is things not working? Why are they not as they seem? Why are you undecided as to which way to go? Why are you still
uncertain of this. On the other side of taking this leap of faith, which is a, major arcana here, and being that it was kind of undecided means that Divine's really starting to go, all right, we're going to step in here, because the other side of it, you have the Empress. And as long as you're undecided, this Empress cannot be fully upright. Your abundance cannot fully come in unless you know what you want and you act towards it. Now, I am getting that for some in the collective, this side represents a receptive energy and this side represents a assertive energy, and they are two different people. Two different people. The illusion here is that this side thinks that it's this side. And this side knows it's this side. But this side thinks it's this side. So your assertive energy thinks it's the receptive energy. It is waiting for you to act, to take that leap of faith. Now, notice that my mentioning, my channeling of the Fool card being major arcana did not occur until it ended up over here in this landing like this. This straight up, this assertive, and I'm going to say it here because it's coming through, this assertive masculine energy is supposed to be the one to take the leap of faith, not this side. This receptive feminine energy is not supposed to be the one to act. The reason they're not acting is because they don't have what they need from this side to do so. Ooh, wow, that frustration is really coming through. It's kind of forceful. Ooh, I'm sorry, guys, if that's kind of coming through a bit strong. Sometimes it's kind of, it's a little hard to temper it a little bit. It kind of surprises me sometimes. So, Two of Swords. This is what's on their Fool here. They are stuck between rock, hard place, and they're used to not having to make a decision, and they're content with staying here until they're forced to. So this is a procrastination energy. It's easier for them to believe that you are supposed to make the action because then they don't have to. And the Knight of Swords, we have two knights here. This is forward movement, two forward movement cards here. They're not quite kings. And this is supposed to be like rapid forward movement with passion, decisiveness, like very clear solar plexus energy. And it's inverted. This tells me that they don't recognize this at all. They don't see it for what it is at all. So there is still some kind of a deceptive blanket that's placed over both sides of this for those that this is resonating as two individuals. For those that it's not two individuals, you're right. There is still some form of manipulative energy present over this experience that you're currently going through, and that is possibly because you have not been perfectly detailed in what you view as your Ten of Pentacles. Sometimes it is a good thing to sit down and go, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. If you need to write it, whatever, like the things that you want, the things that will make you happy, that you know will make you happy. Some of those in the collective, they have gotten to that point themselves and it just never quite works out. So you may have surrendered that to the divine, been like, you know what? Obviously, I don't know everything that will actually make me happy, because there's always something that I don't expect or I don't see, and it comes in and it throws a wrench in it and it all goes to shit. So you do it, because apparently I'm not the divine. I don't know everything you know. So surprise me. And if you're one of the individuals that has done that, there's an energy here that wants you to go, well, divine, I shouldn't have to tell you I don't want to be manipulated. I shouldn't have to tell you that I don't want to be lied to, that I don't want these false promises. I shouldn't have to tell you this for you to know this, because
Come on now, you're a light being. I'm a light being. We're all of love and light here. So why are all these bad things coming through? So there's an energy that wants you to like literally lay this on Divine's feet and be like, why are you doing this to me? It wants you to alienate yourself from the Divine. But they don't know that you're this. They don't know that you're already working through so many timelines. You're just, man, can I just enjoy this life? Can I stop messing with solving all of these other timelines? Can I just enjoy this life? Can I not have to do this? And, you know, sure, like maybe be happy in my life and fix the timelines that aren't working out. Can I have that? Like, that's kind of, like, they don't know that you're here, that you're doing that this is something you're capable of, that you're already doing it. So, for those of you that this isn't an individual, you're not sure what to give to. You don't know which way to go. You're going to be given some kind of information that allows you to feel like taking this leap is going to be something that's going to make you feel safe enough to do so. And that is more than likely something in the physical. And that's going to bring in this Empress energy, because once this goes upright, your abundance will go upright as well. Yet again, like the which side, because you have green, beautiful water. You have water, but it's like the sun setting, not rising. It looks like the grass is a bit dry, possibly on fire. You know, an uncertainty with that. You do have some kind of support or guides or guardianships here. It could be a symbol of like how like the angel sits on one shoulder and the devil sits on the other, and one tempts you and one tries to guide you. Oh man, what is that show? I should know that name of it. It's just when I get into this mind state, it's hard to remember things like the shows. But it's a more recent one, and it's supposed to be an angel and a devil, and it's like set around all of that. I'm sure you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, you're not feeling like you're going to actively rush in and act towards anything because you're like, which way? Because, yeah, this individual is blinded, but if you notice that blindfold covers their ears too. So even though there's two helpers here, they maybe don't hear them. You may not hear them. Or what you're actually hearing is muffled by this blindfold that keeps you blinded and also unable to hear clearly. So you are meant to make this decision internally between this way or that way, and you don't want either one. You want a third option maybe. And that's why you're not making this decision. Because you don't want one or the other. You want an option that blends them both. But that's just not what you're allowed to decide, I guess. Or are you? Okay. I'm going to grab one more here from that, because that is a question you guys deserve to have answered. I don't want to leave this like kind of hostage on you guys. Oh my gosh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. It landed right up like that. So you want to take what you will benefit from with you into your future and leave what you won't behind. You don't want to choose between one or two. There's many different facets to this that could be useful. But you don't want to bring what isn't with you. So until you are like, all right, everything that I need to have is there, and I'm not moving until I have that, the divine's going to step in and allow you to have that knowledge, that awareness, that synchronicity. And like you notice the dog and the dog here, to allow you to actually act towards what you're receptive to. And this goes for those as well that are sitting in, this is one individual and this is another individual. What will benefit you and what won't? This is something that you need to get firm with and commit to. because your hand will be forced when knowledge comes through. Maybe it comes through in your physical reality. Maybe it's intuitive, but your hand is going to be forced to take that leap, to take that step, to discover what you don't know and are uncomfortable, nervous, anxious about experiencing it. Because anxiety is something that you label. Your nervous system does not know the difference between excited, anticipating, or anxious, nervous, scared. It doesn't know the difference between excited and anticipating and anxiety. You label it that way. You tell your body it's good or it's bad, because it doesn't know the difference. So your mind reframes everything with which one you choose.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of change here and a lot of just frustration because there's a lack of communication here. There's a lack of clarity. There's a, hey, everything should be great and wonderful. Why isn't it great and wonderful? You keep telling me it should be great and wonderful, but it's not. Why? Why is this so inconsistent? Why is there so much deception and oppression here? What is going on? Okay, I decided to separate this into two parts. So it's kind of an extended. In this extended that I will be releasing later today or tomorrow, it will go into a little more depth as to exactly what happens when you detach. If you detach, if you're just like, you know what, all these pentacles, apparently all they're able to providing me is deception and false promises. What if you stop being receptive to receiving these pentacles from this situation, dynamic, individual, or aspect in your life? This situationship. What happens if you detach, if you're no longer receptive, if you really put down those boundaries with it? What happens? That'll be in part 2, which I'll be releasing later today or tomorrow. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.